We are here. We are tampering with the fields of this individual. Yes. We are here. Greetings.
Greetings, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yes, it's good to be here.
My name is Ian. What would you like? How would you like to be addressed?
You may call me Jahrae.
Jahrae. Okay, Jahrae.
Yes. I'm a representative of our community, and I will speak for a majority of our people at this time. The Annunaki do not only have one group, there's a few of us. Our planet moves around the central sun, but there are other planets that we have inhabited as well. So some of us have taken divergent evolutionary paths on these courses of evolution on these planets.
Does each planet have its own government?
We are ruled by one government which oversees all other governments that are on a more local basis.
And about how many are Anunnaki are there in total on the various planets combined?
We do not populate as much as Earthlings. You populate like these fruit flies that we see. We are approximately 7 million.
Okay. I understand that you asked for me specifically to ask these questions, and I was just wondering, why did you ask for me?
You have some of our DNA, it seems, and we prefer to communicate with you as you are somewhat of a blank slate of information. Your understanding of the Anunnaki is limited, and therefore we would like you to ask questions as someone who represents a population of those who do not understand or know who or what we are. You also have genetics of ours, and it is easier to communicate with you because of these genetics. We can harmonize to your energies easier than we would to someone else.
Okay, thank you for that. What are the physical traits and the origins of the Anunnaki?
The origins. We are a very old race. Compared to you, you are only a speck in the universe. We have been around for eons and eons, created by the creators. In perfect design, created by them. perfectly as we were meant to be. We will not give a time or a date in linear fashion as you would love, but we will say that it was far before your creation, far before the thought of your creation, and far before the thought of many other races.
And what is your physical appearance? What would it look like to us?
Our form is variable. We can manipulate the minds of man. So, in your ancient Egyptian dioramas, we look different. Some of us have large beards, as you see, and we are large beings, which we are. But we have other permutations of our physical form. Some of our physical form varies from planet to planet, as we said before. And on these other planets, we have different genetics to a small degree. But our DNA is still pure.
And is it with the Anunnaki where the O negative blood type originates?
Yes, we are the creators of man. We seeded you in our image. We are the God in your Bible. We are that which you think of when you think of God. A wise giant with a beard, this wise man knowing all, able to manipulate matter before him. This is us.
You do realize that not all of us see God in that way.
The majority of humans see God as a man. We understand that your knowledge of the Creator is limited to what has been fed to you by communities of the church and other created religions designed to confuse and manipulate you. In truth, not many of you know at all what the Creator is. It is something that is beyond your thought capacities because many of you think of Jesus and Allah, Buddha, and other great people, but the Creator itself is none of these and is all of these at the same time.
Yes, I understand what you mean. And how would you describe your physical appearance? You said you're able to change your physical appearance. What do you look like with each other when you're out on your home planet?
We have a similar form to what you see in this movie, Avatar.
Okay.
We are not blue-skinned, but some of us are of a red-skinned nature. We do not possess these fancy tails that they possess in the movie. And some of us have horns, some do not. Depending on our genetic variants, some of us have silver-skinned, some of us have red, and we vary in the shades of purple as well. Our height ranges. As we age, we grow taller. As a youngling, our height is about 8 feet, and we grow 16, 18, 24, and taller feet. Our planet is much larger than your planet. And because of this, we are able to sustain a larger body, sustain denser gravities, and grow in larger size.
What was the purpose for you to create humans on Earth? Was there a grand plan of you created us are we an experiment?
We are very old. And when you get old, you get bored. Sometimes you want to do something to fix your boredom. One of these projects was man. As we were reconstituting our environment, our atmosphere, parts of the environment, our atmosphere had been displaced by meteors and other space debris, we will say. In order to recalibrate the vibrational frequency of our atmosphere, it was necessary to harvest gold, as you see in the past. Yes, some of this information is true. And many of those who were on the earth at the time, visiting as gods, did not see it to their level to harvest the gold themselves, though they had technology to do this. We needed more than what they were able to harvest in the short period of time. So, bored beings create things. This is what we do naturally, is create. This is the nature of God. We created humanity to do the job for us.
And how do you feel that project has gone as far as humanity's progress? Did humans, have they evolved and grow as you thought they would?
Our projections estimated that you humans would not reach such levels of light, that you would be sustained at a particular level where you could be more easily controlled and manipulated with fear, we'll say. But you have risen above this, to our surprise. So we congratulate you for this.
Was it your desire to keep us down at a certain level, and not become more light?
We will ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you think a boss would want if he was a totalitarian boss? Would he want educated people knowing that when he went home for large periods of time, that he wasn't working? They would question this if they knew what was going on. They would say, why does he get to go home and we have to work? Is this not true?
That is true.
If you are uneducated and you do not know what the boss is doing while he is out, and you will not ask this question, and you will not cause trouble for the boss. This is how we think.
Interesting. So, are you involved in any sort of project that has to do with disclosure of extraterrestrial life? Like the disclosure of it on Earth?
We are here with you right now, are we not?
That is true.
Creating a video, hopefully to help raise the awareness of those that do not know us.
And do you have a very specific message on which you wanted to put this on video and then communicate to mankind? Like, what is your message that you wish to tell humans?
We have an understanding that humans have reached a critical moment. They have passed this critical moment. And because of this, we understand that they have reached a new level of education, we will say, of knowledge, of understanding. And for this reason, we would relinquish some of this boss role from you. and allow you some more freedoms, we will say. After the age of 8, you are allowed to stay up until 10 o'clock at night. After the age of 10, you are allowed to stay up until 11 o'clock at night, something like this.
Do you currently have control over figures within our government?
Government is a low scale. We are in control, and we are in part with the higher forms of your government, the controllers of the government, we will say. They receive commands from us, and they obey these commands loyally.
Okay.
We will elaborate. We understand that this is not enough for you. We will say your magic group, your Illuminati, these members, these groups, the global elite, we will call them. These are the ones who share our DNA to a greater capacity. These are the ones who follow our orders through telepathy, through channeling. These means through ceremony, through sacrifice. They are the ones who communicate with us. They control what happens. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Does that also include, or if there is such thing as the cabal?
The cabal is somewhat different, but yes, in the same. It is not so much directly associated with our bloodline, but there are those who follow under the rule of us still.
Okay, it's similar to the Illuminati, which you just spoke about.
Yes.
Do you work with any other alien species, like closely in harmony with your dealings on Earth? Like, do you work in partnership with other alien species for your Earth project?
If you look at the world, you will see that there are tiers of power. We are at the top of the power tier, we'll say the pyramid. Then there are those who follow us who are not so much human. You may call them Dracos, members of the Empire. And there are others below them, sub-aliens, we will call them, but they were mixes of genetics. Then there are the elite. Then it moves down the tree naturally.
So it's my understanding that humans are most closely related to Pleiadians. Are you also a creator of other species out there?
Yes, of course.
Would the Pleiadians be another one of those species, or what species have you created?
Yes, the Pleiadians are one of these species. And we have been a father to many. You would not know many of these races.
Okay. But I get the idea to my question.
Yes, we play with genetics.
So when you first created man, was it in a different image and evolution was part of that? Or was there no such thing as evolution?
Evolution is true. Evolution is real. But evolution occurs over a long period of time. to your standard.
Right.
It does occur naturally. The first of you will refer to your Bible of Methuselah. He was not fully human, as you can understand. He was only 23% human to your understanding of the word human. But he was also Annunaki. And this was one of the contributing factors to his long life.
Back during the time when people lived to be several hundred years old.
Yes, and beyond, actually. But these beings are not recorded. The genetic lines of our species has been recorded on Earth very well and has been passed down from generation to generation to ensure the bloodline had remained pure. But some records have been hidden, some destroyed, some buried. But there are still records of this.
Do you know if man's going to find any additional records and if they're meant to find those records?
Your definition of man is what?
Human.
Human have found these already. They just do not find the light of day, of course. They're passed to the elites.
For they contain secret knowledge?
Of their ancestors, yes.
Bloodlines.
Bloodlines, technologies. The way things are on the planet. Gateways, portals, stargates, locations of these things. Many things.
And what is your feeling about that information being kept among the elites instead of being disclosed to the general population?
When a corporation is formed, the CEOs of the company, these are the people with the information. They control the information and distribute it as they see fit to those who can use this information to serve their good. We do not need to give information to the worker bees. This is what we were talking about before. The knowledge passed down too far will cause disruption at the top.
So you would prefer to keep the situation with that information to stay at the top, that there's not a need for it to be disseminated amongst the masses because it would cause chaos.
Not at this time. This information will naturally come forward, deathbed confessions and such, and in disclosure as well. But we do not worry about such things.
But I imagine you don't worry about such things because you're afar, but yet you have an interest because we're your creation. Would that be an accurate statement?
We are interested, as a scientist is interested in an anthill.
Right.
If someone steps on this anthill, we look to another anthill.
Do you also help protect the Earth from other beings who are not so friendly towards Earth?
This is our domain, and we have beings that do this for us. They protect you from foreign invaders, yes. From those who wish to take our minerals. For those who wish to take our water and other essential components of life. Yes, we do not directly intervene in this regard the majority of the time, but sometimes it is necessary.
Do you participate within a galactic council Or again, do you think that's work for other species to carry out on your behalf?
There is some influence of us in the Galactic Council, but for the majority of the time, we are not so involved in these regards. We prefer to rule at a distance in absolution.
Well, thank you for the information. It's very, very interesting. What else would you like to tell us humans on Earth?
Not all Anunnaki are the same. There are those of us who wish to see you rise as you have reached beyond your young age. Right now is a time of transition as you leave kindergarten. You grow into your beginning elementary school, we can say, as a race. And this threshold of you moving into space will be this threshold. This is a marker stating that you are ready for the next stage in your development. And so you will create protection for your planet and more protection until you are ready for your teachers, your guardians, to let go of you and stop watching over you. As a child, as you age, sometimes you need babysitters to make sure you do not destroy yourself, to make sure you do not burn yourself on the stove. Those babysitters, as you grow, you will not require any longer until when your technology, your consciousness level reaches a particular state. When this happens, you will be left, for the most part, to yourselves to survive. At this time, you would have established trade routes with other races, trading technologies, and other things of this nature, which will accelerate you further into the next stage of your development.
What type of time frame do you foresee that happening?
Time for us is very, very different from you. Your life is but a fleeting moment in our life. Let us put this into perspective. One moment. One month to us is 300 years to you.
Wow.
1 week to us is 75 years to you. We blink our eyes and you are dead. Your lives are so short. So to find you at this particular moment has been a challenge, but one that we are able to make.
Well, that makes me feel grateful that I was chosen to do this, since this is just a fleeting time on your timeline.
Fleeting, yes, but important all the same. It is important that this message be released. It is important that the understanding reaches a critical mass so that change can happen now that you are being released from the clutches, we will say, of your elders. Do you have any other questions?
I'm assuming that you are aware of the resistance that there will be towards the belief that you are humans' creator God. There are a lot of walls humans have built up around their religions, and any new ideas, such as the one you had mentioned to me, are going to be very difficult for many to accept. But I guess by posting this video, and having people learn this one by one. It'll be a drop in the bucket process.
We will ask you this question. What do you think created those religions?
I believe man did.
You believe man. But man was controlled by others. These priests, these bishops, these cardinals, these so-called people of power, some of them possess the ability to channel and speak with the gods, you understand?
Yes.
Some are guided to do particular things. Some are guided by us. So understand this. We can smash church if we wish, as we created it. So do not worry about that.
Okay. I didn't realize you could smash church.
Concept is fragile.
And is becoming more and more fragile.
Yes. As a house of glass.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to tell us humans? Or Dave, the individual who's channeling?
He's doing acceptable at this time. We would say stay steadfast in your journey. Your evolutionary process is developing at a steady rate, rapid compared to others, due to your lust of knowledge and your desire for trade with other races at this time. We will say, look within yourself to your God. This is where you will find it. Stop seeking externalization from those who say they are in control. This is all we will say for now.
Okay. Jahrae, thank you very much for coming and choosing to communicate with us today. We really appreciate it.
Na hote brakanash. Ilka na hote brak. Anna oka. Jegonaya. Shaganaya wasna. Beote na kuta brukwa. Jaganea. Shetura brakanas. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Blessings. That was weird. What was weird was at the very end when he left, there was a flash of light. And I don't know if it was your camera changing its focus on, you know how it adjusts the light automatically, the brightness. I don't know if it's your camera that did that or if it was him that did that.
A lot of energy coming through.
And then your camera just fluctuated with the light towards the end there, that it didn't do that throughout the session. That was very interesting, and it seemed kind of dark a little bit, just because of my own religious views. But it was definitely very interesting.
Yeah.
And you had some interesting facial tics going on.
Yeah. There was a lot of energy going on, and
like if there was something you didn't like or what, it looked like there was something, like if I asked a question, there was something you didn't like about it or what have you, you'd kind of do a snarl look, you know.
I don't know.
So take a look at that. Otherwise you're great.
Cool. Well, I'm great that the video was recorded and that the content can be released.
Yeah. Do you want to stop recording?
Yeah, Let's stop it now.